Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. This is another episode of Creepy Critiques and another special episode, if you will. This is actually what I've been kind of hinting at in a lot of my other videos, my fun video. I was supposed to have this out weeks ago, but time got away from me. I apologize. Also, disclaimer, I'm not sure if you can hear it. I'm letting my mic pick it up. Hopefully the little sound thing will drown it out. Our AC blew out last weekend, and they still haven't been able to fix it because apparently the problem is bigger than what we anticipated. So we do not have any AC. So right now I have a giant fan going, and I apologize if there's any white noise in the background. I will do my best in post to edit it out without compromising the sound of the video itself. I apologize if that's annoying to any of you that are watching this. I feel really bad. Just know that with today's video, where you're not going to be hearing too much of me speaking, I am going to try to mostly let the clips do the talking. But yeah, it's hot in here. It gets to about 80 degrees, 80 something degrees within my house right now. And I cannot do this video if I do not have the fan going. So, and this is the last week that I have to do this video. I'm recording this video on Sunday, August 25th. I believe it's August 25th. August 25th. And Halloween Horror Nights starts in 5 days. 5 days. And I was supposed to have this video out like last month. That was originally one of my plans for this video, but not only were there a ton of movies that came out or became available to watch on streaming last month that I needed to catch up on, but I also recorded this entire video, and then I recorded it in a format that I wasn't really like thrilled with. So I promptly was just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna redo this and try to do this in a better way. So hopefully the way that I'm doing this today will be better. Originally, when I was sitting down to record this, I was going to just insert the videos for you to watch, and I was like, that's dumb. You're not getting my reactions to things, or at least my view of things. But no matter, we're gonna make it work today. We're gonna see how this goes. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you're seeing this video on Thursday, the day that technically Halloween Horror Night starts, because it starts with the premium scream night on the 29th. So hopefully you'll be seeing this Thursday, August 29th, the day before opening night and the day of the premium scream night. But here is what we're gonna do today. It's gonna be something completely different than what I've done in the past. This isn't a review. This isn't a tip video. This is actually a reaction video. I'm a reaction channel suddenly. I've never done a reaction video before, and I thought this would be fun to do. Um, and what we're going to be reacting to today, in case you're wondering, is Halloween Horror Nights commercials of the past. Now, if you grew up in Florida like I did, you knew the season was starting when you saw these commercials. You knew it was upon us when the TV station started playing these commercials like crazy. And it was always scary because I was a kid, but also kind of fun to see what they came up with. And over the years, Halloween Horror Nights commercials have evolved into something so spectacular. It's just beyond me, honestly. It's beyond me how like they've become basically little mini movies, which makes sense because it is Universal Studios. So like they're a movie studio, they're a movie company. So I love their commercials. I love their more recent ones. Now, full transparency, because I did record this video last month, I have revisited a lot of these, so my commentary might be not be as fun as the previous video, but I'm going to try to do my best to make it fun. I'm also going to be employing the tactic of having them in the corner to avoid copyright. So if you do want to watch any or all of these commercials on your own, I will put links to all of them. The first one I'm looking at my screen right now. The first one I'm going to be reacting to, there's like a playlist of a bunch of different commercials, and there's also other stuff that's on this playlist as well that has to do with Halloween Horror Nights, so I'll link that playlist, and then I'll link all the other commercials in the description down below. So if you want to go and watch any of these in their full glory, because again, I will not be including like a full scale thing. I probably will even turn the audio down a little bit if I can for those parts, just because I want to avoid copyright as best as I can. I will do my best to give you the opportunity to see these commercials. They're all relatively pretty short. I think the longest one is about 3 minutes, almost 4 minutes long, and that's one of their more recent ones. But and there's also some I'm going to have to cut into pieces because they get gory. They do get gory for commercials, especially their more recent stuff, because they aren't airing them on TV. They have been getting a little wild there. So I'll tell you what each year is. I'll go through the commentary afterwards. I also do have my headphones in so I can hear these commercials, so I can hear what you guys hear. But I'll tell you what each year was, and also I'll let you know my personal thoughts and feelings on each commercial, my experiences if I actually saw these commercials when I was a kid or anything like that. I'll let you guys know. So without further ado, let's get into this really, really special edition of Creepy Critiques. Okay, so our first commercial is actually a Pepsi ad. Um, this one I don't think I've ever seen before, so I'm gonna play this one. Well, I've seen it before, but I don't think I saw it when I was younger. I'm gonna play this one. You guys can see it. It's a very short 31-second ad. So not bad at all. Not bad at all. So yeah, let's watch Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights Pepsi ad.
This Halloween, party with your favorite monsters during Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios, Florida. And right now, carve out savings of up to $16 off admission with this special coupon you'll find on 2 liters of Pepsi. For details, visit a Pepsi display near you. Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios. Hurry to Ticketmaster today for advance tickets, while you can still slash the price.
Okay, so first of all, peep that price, because wow, $16 for Halloween Horror Nights. This was back in the 90s. This event obviously started back in 1991, and this was back in the 90s, and they only had 5 nights. I don't know if you noticed at the bottom of the screen there, they had like all like 5 dates, and it was literally like the week of Halloween. So crazy to see that to this day. Like back then it was $16 to get in, but you only had 5 nights. That was back when it used to be just like one big Halloween party. I never saw this when I was a kid. This is one of those ones that I think like it aired maybe like occasionally. Obviously, scare factor, I would give it a 0 out of 5. It's not a scary commercial. It's more just like an advertisement. It's a straight out and out advertisement. You guys just got product placement in this video. Not that I'm condoning any products, but I just think that's funny. You guys just got product placement in this video. But yeah, no, I never saw that one growing up, and but I do remember seeing like the bottles back in the day, like when you'd go in the grocery store, seeing the bottles of like Pepsi and like having like the this like Frankenstein's monster and then like the ticket thing on the back, the coupon, I should say. Simpler times, simpler times. Okay, so this next ad that we're going to watch is actually from Halloween Horror Nights 5, and this is when the Crypt Keeper from Tales of from the Crypt was the icon of the event, and actually like the IP of the event, I guess. I don't really know much about this event. Eventually I'm going to do a like probably not this year. I'll probably save it for next year so I can have some time to prepare, but I am going to eventually do like a deep dive, like going through the history of HHN video, maybe a couple of videos, maybe make it a little series. Who knows? We'll see. But there's a lot of lore and a lot going on. This is probably one of their first like official icons, I guess. This crypt is the Crypt Keeper. So yeah, let's watch the Halloween Horror Nights 5 commercial.
Hello, kiddies. Crypt Keeper here, master of ceremonies at Universal Studios, all new Halloween Horror Nights. With new haunted houses to die for, you'll make some new films, play a fine role in a killer show, and lots more. Don't miss the last 2 weekends of horror for the resident scene. And that ticket's just $22 at Ticketmaster with a 2-liter Pepsi label. Party with me at Universal Halloween Horror Nights. You'll visit.
Okay, so first thing I want to say right off the bat about this commercial is that this commercial makes this event look like such a good time. I obviously did not get to go back in the heyday of Halloween Horror Nights. I was a child. And from what my siblings and other people I've spoken to about this event have told me is that this used to feel like one big Halloween party, and this commercial encapsulates it perfectly. Like if I had seen this commercial like as an adult now, if I was an adult my age now in the 90s and I saw this commercial, I would have been buying my ticket. I would have been running to Ticketmaster and I would have been buying my ticket to go because that just looked like a ton of fun. It's not super scary, which I do love. I love the fact that it's not super like creepy. It shows you like what the event is. It's a very good advertisement for the event. It's like, hey, here's some people scaring you, and here's some more people scaring you, and here's some people eating and drinking and getting scared, and like everybody's dancing and having a good time. They had that little Bill and Ted moment. Bill and Ted, I miss that show so much. I wish it would come back in some capacity. I know it can't, but I wish it would. It was so much fun. But But yeah, you have that little Bill and Ted moment. It's a very fun commercial and very just like lighthearted, which I kind of like. Definitely another one I would rate like a 0 out of 5 as far as like the scariest. Yeah, we're rating these commercials too, by the way. Like what's like scary commercials, what's freaky, whatever. This one definitely is like a 0 out of 5 because, like I said, it's a great advertisement, and it's to me, it would be the kind of thing you would show somebody if they were like iffy about the event. Like not now, obviously, but back in the day, like that would be something you would show somebody if they were iffy about the event to go to the event. Like it would get them to go because it just looks like fun. I mean, it just looks like a lot of fun. Like they did a really good job selling that one. So, yeah, that is the 19 I would guess that was 1995. The Halloween Horror Nights 5. I'm guessing that's 1995. Okay, so this commercial that we're going to be watching is one that I actually have seen before. Um, and it is definitely one that traumatized me, and I'll explain why when we're done. It's 19 seconds. It's their Halloween Horror Nights 7, 1997 commercial. I'm not sure. I might have to blur out some of the parts in a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
You'll never sleep again. At Universal Studios, the Frightmare continues with Halloween Horror Nights 7. Only at Universal Studios. You'll never sleep again.
All right, so I don't know how much of that I can show. It's only 19 seconds, but it is like for 1990s, it is a bit graphic. So I don't know. I'll debate. We'll see what you see. Again, these commercials will all be in the description below. So if you want to see some of them a little uncensored, you can. I don't know. I might leave it in because it's not too bad compared to some of the other stuff I might be censoring. But that one definitely. Yeah. So this was the first introduction for me to Halloween Horror Nights. And the reason was that at the time I had a sister, well, I have a sister, but my sister was living up in Orlando, and she was actually, a team member at Universal Studios, not Halloween Horror Nights, at Universal Studios, and she bought the t-shirt that they had. If I can find a picture of the t-shirt, I'll insert it here. Trigger warning, it's gross. It's gross. But I'll like flash it real quick so you can see it for like a couple of seconds. But it is one of the like she brought that t-shirt, and I was like 6 years old when this event was hitting, and I just remember her coming home wearing this t-shirt, and it freaked me out. And then I saw this commercial like a couple days later on like some news station my parents were watching, and I was just like, no, I want nothing to do with that. What is wrong with Universal Studios? Hello? Like why would they do that? That's so awful and evil. It scared me. This commercial really scared me. As an adult, we're rating this as an adult. I would give this like a 1 out of 5 because the graphics are so corny now. The little goblin creature flying around is super funny to me. I think he's like goofy. But I give it a 1 because like the whole idea of something like lifting your lid up and biting your eyelid like is kind of creepy. Like the idea of that, I wouldn't want that to happen. Like I don't really like stuff near my eyes as it is, but that just kind of like is an ick for me. But yeah, so it's a 1 out of 5 for me. But yeah, that was my first introduction to Halloween Horror Nights, was seeing that t-shirt and then seeing that commercial, and I didn't understand why anyone would want to go to an event like that. I didn't understand why my siblings were like, "Oh yeah, it's so much fun." No, what's wrong with you guys? Now I can say that about myself. What's wrong with me? Why am I there? But yeah, so let's move on to our next commercial. So this next one here is what year is it? Does it say? It does not say. This next one here is the year they did Primal Scream, and this is another one that I have beef with. So let's watch the commercial and then we'll talk about it.
Who knows what terror awaits? Florida residents, save $10 in advance at Ticketmaster with a Pepsi 2-liter label to Universal Studios' newest terror, Halloween Horror Nights 8 Primal Scream. Grab a Pepsi and satisfy your thirst for terror. The last scream you hear may be your own.
Okay, so first things first, I think it's hilarious that at the end of the commercial she's screaming about the fact that her Pepsi is empty. I would probably be screaming not because it's of Pepsi. I'd probably be screaming if I like went to the store and just bought something and then it was empty because you just spent money on the thing and now it's empty. Um no, so that one was also one that I never saw that commercial till I was an adult. I never saw that on TV or anything. My sister actually owned a cup with the screaming face on it, like a yard cup thing. I don't know if you've seen those, but it had the screaming face thing on it, and that thing scared me so much. I don't know why. It was so scary to me. So I had a little bit of beef with that too. Again, another instance of why would you want to go to this event? Um, as an adult reading that commercial, like when I first saw the commercial, I thought it was goofy, and I still think it's goofy to this day. Um, I'm probably gonna say it's a 0 for me. Doesn't really do it for me. Like, I feel like even if I had seen that video when I was a kid, like the scream part probably would have made me uncomfortable, but then I probably would have laughed at the fact that she was scared that her Pepsi was out. Um, I have a weird sense of humor like that, so I probably would have thought that was funny. So yeah, that one wasn't really all that scary. But now we're getting into some more years that I've actually seen, and we are getting into Halloween Horror Nights 10. So this next commercial we're about to watch is for Halloween Horror Nights 10, and this is the first time that we ever get to meet Jack the Clown. And if you saw the thumbnail for this video, you'll know how I feel about Jack the Clown. So let's watch this commercial. Oh, also, clown warning, I guess. If you're afraid of clowns, you might want to skip over this part. And maybe skip this video entirely, because Jack is going to come back a few times.
Not afraid of the dark? You don't know Jack. Look out for the new Halloween Horror Nights 10, only at Universal Studios. Florida residents save $10 with a specially marked 2-liter Coca-Cola Classic label or coupon from a participating Taco Bell.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, the voice for that commercial was really loud in my ears. That's why I was like smiling at one part, because I was like, oh my god, he's like, this man, this narrator is like whispering directly into my brain. Yeah, as you can see, I am down bad for Jack the Clown. I love Jack the Clown. He is my favorite icon. He is my every year when they bring him back, people like certain people complain, but I could have he could be the MC for every single, like he could be the icon for every single event and I'd be thrilled. I love Jack the Clown. I love his aesthetic. I think he's super awesome. This was the first year that he was ever included. They decided they needed an icon. They needed someone who was sort of like a character representing the event, and they chose Jack Schmidt. Um and he has been sort of like an icon for the ages. Like every time that they have an anniversary, they bring this man back. And they'll usually bring him back these days with his homie, with all the other icons that they've had in the past, after him. But he's usually like the head honcho. He's usually the HBIC. If you know what that means, you know what that means. So that's usually what he does. And yeah, he's funny. He's very animated, which I love that about him. And yeah, I love Jack the Clown, and I just can't wait until we get another anniversary year and he inevitably comes back, because we know it's happening. Halloween Horror Nights 35, I'm looking at you. On the scare factor for this commercial, I did actually see this commercial when I was younger too, and it freaked me out. But on the scare factor, as an adult, I will say maybe it's around a 2. No, that's giving it too much. I would say maybe it's a 1 for me. Just because I love Jack too much. I just love him way too much. He's so, even though he doesn't do much in the commercial but laugh, I love him. He's great. We should all love him. All right, let's move on to the next commercial before I continue going on a diatribe about Jack the Clown. Okay. So 2001 was a weird year for Universal Studios Florida, and for the United States, for obvious reasons I'm not going to get into. Um, and so this commercial might seem a little bit discombobulated. I am going to explain to you after we watch it what happened, kind of, without going too much into detail. And yeah, this is an interesting situation. So let's watch this commercial first.
Jack is back, and he's more horrifying than ever.
You think he's here tonight?
Oh, he's here. Somewhere.
It's Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios. 5 new haunted houses and new live shows. Florida residents save up to $15 with advanced ticket purchase with a valid Florida ID.
Halloween Horror Nights 11 at Universal.
Okay, so we see in 2001 that Jack was back. Let's explain why Jack was back real quick. And I'm not going to go too lore heavy because eventually when I do make a video about the history of Halloween Horror Nights, I will go a little bit more into this. But the reason why Jack was brought back in 2001 was because of the 9/11 terrorist attacks that happened in New York and, well, in the United States in general. And so they decided that they were going to scrap their original plan, which their original plan was a character by the name of Eddie Schmidt. And who is Eddie? Well, if you peep the last name, he's Jack's brother. He's Jack's brother. So Eddie was supposed to be the villain, and you actually in this commercial, what I love about this commercial is that you kind of get a little bit of a glimpse of Eddie. It seems like they might have filmed this commercial before they decided to overhaul, and then they just added that quick shot of Jack at the end to be like, yeah, he's back. Because there's one part in the beginning where the kids are walking and you see the eye. That's actually Eddie's eye, or it was his eye at the time. It's not anymore because he has like weird glowing, not glowing eyes, but he has weird eyes now. I'll put a picture of him up there. I love Eddie Schmidt. I love him. I love him and Jack, and I really want Eddie to have his own year. Like, I really want him to have his own year. I'm like, guys, we all know who Eddie Schmidt is. Just give him his year. Give him his year, I beg of you, please. And then at the end, when the girl says, like, oh, he's here about, Jack, you see first of all, you see a window that says ICU, which was actually the original tagline for 2001's year until they changed it because, back then they had done surveys to see what people were like the most scared of, and one of the things people said that they were scared of after clowns was being watched, so it was ICU, get it? And they actually had a billboard of Eddie where it was just his eyes, and it was like on I-4, and people were terrified of that. And it said ICU. And so you see the window with the glass and it says ICU, and then a man jumps through with a chainsaw, and you can't really tell, but it is supposed to be Eddie. So it's very hard to tell, but it is. So it's like not fully like realized, like maybe they changed the costume of the actor, but he does wield a chainsaw. That's like his thing. He does wield a chainsaw. What we could have had. And I just like him because he's supposed to be like, Jack the Clown is like, he's a bad guy. He's a villain. But he's more comical and fun, and Eddie is supposed to be the one that's vicious and scary. And they have given him his like due throughout like the years. He had one of the best scare zones, I think, in my recent memory. Goodness gracious, was it 31? I think it might have been Halloween Horror Nights 31. This isn't comprehensive. But there was one where it was like all the Horror Nights past scare zones, and I think it was called like Lights Camera something, I don't remember, but it was Eddie's scare zone, and he was there, and I was happy that we got to see him represented finally in the park. I'm really hoping that Universal will reconsider and just give him a year, 1 year. Just please do it. Slashers are popular again. I think he would do really well and people would love him. As far as that commercial goes, I give it a 0 out of 5 for the scare factor because it does feel like discombobulated. It definitely feels like it was rushed, like they threw it together to like, for a good reason. They threw it together to just kind of usurp what they already had planned. And it's like they filmed the commercial with Eddie in mind. That's why they have the ICU glass. That's why they have the guy jump out with the chainsaw. That's why they have a guy with an Eddie-esque eyes like looking through the fence. But unfortunately, they had to change it because of the attacks, and it just definitely feels a little bit discombobulated. So, yeah, that one gets a 0, and I actually never saw that one in when I was younger. I never saw that one. I just saw the first Jack one. So, let's move on to the next commercial. Yay! This commercial is from Halloween Horror Nights 12. This is when they moved it to the Islands of Adventure. It turned into Islands of Fear. And we get to meet another amazing icon, an icon that I really truly believe is like he's an icon for the ages. I feel like I feel this way about all the icons, but there's some icons that I just love so much, and he's another one that I love as much as like Jack and Eddie, and that is the caretaker. Let's watch.
Eeny, miny, moe. Catch a body by the toe. If he hollers, cut him low. Eeny, miny, moe.
Visit the all-new Halloween Horror Nights, held for the first time at Islands of Adventure. 4 islands of fear. Save up to $20 from Coca-Cola. Get your tickets before it's too late.
All right, so that's the Caretakers commercial. There's actually like several different commercials for this. That was the one I believe I remember seeing the most out of all of them back in the day. This one I definitely saw a lot. I was probably about 11 when this one was playing, and I saw it a lot on a lot of different stations. But I believe I saw it quite a bit on Nick at Night because I used to watch Nick at Night like before bed. I saw it quite a bit on Nick at Night, which is like I know that that's like the time for adults, but damn, was that traumatizing sometimes. So yeah, this commercial was one of my favorite commercials. I don't want to rank the commercials where they go on a list because that's just maybe someday I'll make a tier list of like best commercials. You know, we'll bring back the tier list like we did for the movies. Maybe someday I'll make a tier list for like the best HHN commercials. Maybe that'll be my next video after my HHN vlog. Um, but this one's definitely high on the list for me. If I were to put it on a tier list, it would be definitely A tier. Because it's very creepy, it's very simplistic, and it also feels more cinematic than the previous commercials. This is when we're starting to get into the era where these are feeling more like mini movies, and they get longer and longer as time goes on. This one definitely is a lot more cinematic than the previous ones we've watched, and it almost doesn't even feel like an advertisement. Like, I remember the first time like, not the exact first time, but I do remember, like, seeing this commercial, like, when it first started airing, and not knowing what was going on in the beginning and being, like, petrified of, like, watching him do this eeny, meeny, miny, mo with this guy laying on a table, and then, like, them going, like, talking about Halloween Horror Nights at the end, and me going, "Oh, okay, it's an advertisement. I had no idea. I thought it was a snuff film that snuck on TV." So I was very, like, it's very much like a really good advertisement because it's not necessarily, like, showing you what the event, like, has to offer, but it's definitely evoking that feeling of, I have a little bit of scariness, a little bit of fear in me. Um, as far as ranking this one on how scary it is on a scale of 1 to 5, I would say I would definitely put this middle ground, like, 3. It still kind of makes me a little icky. Um, the way he's like, "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo," like, it's so creepy and, like, it's creeper behavior, really. But I love this commercial. It's definitely one that I would say is high up on the list for, like, my favorite. These headphones are, like, sliding out of my ears. I'm sorry, I keep, like, trying to adjust them, but they're the only ones I had that worked for this right now. So, um, but yeah, that one definitely is one of my favorites, from HHN. So I have to give it a 3 out of 5 for scariness, and I definitely recommend checking out the other caretaker commercials they have. We're not going to watch those because we got so many more commercials to get through, and we're only on year number 12. We're only on year number 12 right now. We're only in 2002, so we've got a ways to go. We've got all the way up to 2023 because, fun fact, there is no commercial for this year, and we'll talk about that later. Okay, so this next commercial I picked. There's actually 2 versions of this commercial, with 2 different kill shots. We don't actually see them, but I picked the one with the less violent version of the kill shot because I don't want to have to edit it for YouTube. Um, I hope it's enough because it's not super gory and you don't really see anything. But we're gonna watch the Halloween Horror Nights 13 commercial. This is definitely one that haunts my nightmares. Let's watch it.
You will at Universal Halloween Horror Nights 13. I'm a terrifying you.
I don't know if you guys noticed how much I was cringing during that commercial. That is definitely like a deep deep-seated traumatic memory that I have. So let me get into it, because me and the director, we have a really bad history. So back when this commercial was airing, I was about 12 years old, and every morning before I would go to school, I used to watch this little show that they had on MTV called All Things Rock, and it was basically like a music video show, but they only played rock music videos because I liked rock music, and also because I was really obsessed with Good Charlotte, the band Good Charlotte at the time, and Benji and Joel, the two brothers from that band, hosted that show. So every morning I would watch All Things Rock before I went to the bus to go to school. They played this commercial at least 3 times every morning. So first thing in the morning, I'm eating my Eggo waffles. I'm just chilling. I'm minding my business. And then all of a sudden I hear, "You ought to be in pictures." I'm trying to butcher it a little bit. So I might have to mute the audio. I'm not sure, because that could be copyrighted. I'm not sure. We'll see. I might have to mute the audio. And if I do, I apologize, because there is a little song that they play. I'm not sure if you're going to hear it or not. But yeah, and it was specifically that one. There is another one that is a little bit more violent, honestly, and it involves a bathtub. I'll let you do the math. Which yeah, you can figure out what's gonna happen there. This one was the one they played the most on the TV, the one with the jester, which back in the day I had coulrophobia really bad. I was terrified of clowns. I'm not anymore, but I was terrified of clowns. And then you've got this creepy song playing, this creepy guy, and then this guy dressed up as a clown with his mouth being stretched. I was traumatized as a kid by this commercial. This commercial really messed me up. I think this commercial can explain a lot about why I am the way I am. It messed me up. I was terrified. I remember watching this commercial and being like, "Oh, cool. I never want to go to that event. I want nothing to do with that event. I'm so freaking good." Which is crazy considering where I am now. I mean, if like 12-year-old me in 2003 could see 33-year-old me today going to Halloween Horror Nights multiple times in 1 year, she would be like, "Are we okay?" And then I would have to tell her, "No, we're definitely not okay." But that's besides the point. Um, yeah, the commercial is creepy. To this day, like I was cringing because the sounds, the music, everything. To this day, I'm gonna say it's like a 4 for me. It's a 4. It's high up. It's like on the scare factor. Like obviously, I'm not scared, but I remember when I was filming this video the first time, I didn't have headphones in because I was just watching the commercial so I could give you my reaction. So I didn't have headphones in. And I just remember the entire time I was watching this commercial, I still, like, it was dark because I recorded it after work and it was dark. So, like, there was no sounds, nothing, nobody was outside, nothing was going on. And it was just like the song started playing and I was like, "I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I'm not your strongest soldier." The director and I will always have beef. We will always have beef, and he's one that, he can catch me outside. That's all I gotta say. Um, Definitely a really good commercial, very cinematic. Like it's another one where you can see how much these are evolving away from just being like, "Come to Halloween Horror Nights. There's haunted houses and scary things. Yay!" Like you can see how much it's evolving away from that. And I love that. And that's like one of the things I do love about this commercial is that you definitely get that sense of this is a new era for Universal Studios and Halloween Horror Nights. I love the commercial, but I hate the commercial. And if you want to watch any of the other ones, there are like several different versions of this commercial. If you want to watch any of the other ones, they'll be on that playlist that I linked below. So let's move on to the next commercial because I don't want to talk about this commercial anymore. Okay. All right, now on to another commercial that traumatized me as a kid. Another commercial that used to play randomly on random stations I used to watch. I used to watch a lot of music stations, and I watched a lot of like MTV and stuff because of the reality shows. I know, I was hooked on them. I'm sorry. Um, this commercial was very traumatizing. We're gonna watch it, and then we'll talk about it after.
There's no escaping Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. Now in 2 parks for twice the fear.
No. Yeah, these headphones definitely are like messing me up because the sounds are so like loud and clear. Because like I said, when I was doing this video, like trying to record this video a month ago, I was just listening to it through my computer, and like obviously I'm not getting the same effect. This is like the glass cracking. I could hear that thing creaking like when they were reaching out for him. Ew, ew. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, this is another one that they used to play like midday. Like I would see it after school, like on like MTV, VH1, things like that. Didn't like it. Hated this commercial. It was always the body bag scene. I thought someone was coming in the house again or walking by the house. It was always the body bag scene. It was always the part where the body bag sits up and starts unzipping itself. That always got to me. This one, I would probably actually between the last one and this one, which one do I think is scarier? You know, I'm gonna put them both as at a 4 out of 5. I'm gonna put this one at a 4 out of 5 as well. Um, there's one I know that's a 5 out of 5. We'll get to it. We are gonna get to it very soon, actually. Yeah, no, this commercial messed me up as a kid too. Just seeing this, I mean, you're being a kid in Florida and then just seeing this like on TV while you're like trying to watch like Room Raiders or something like that. I don't know if that was what was airing back then. That's just the first thing that popped into my head. Like, goodness gracious, it's just so creepy. But that one's really creepy, and I hope, you guys found it a little creepy too. Let's move on. We've got to go on to Halloween Horror Nights 15 now. Okay, so this one, Halloween Horror Nights 15, is a very interesting commercial in my opinion because of the way it starts off, but you'll see what I mean and we'll talk about it after. So let's watch uh the next Halloween Horror Nights one.
Tired from his adventures, the little boy settled into his bed and slept and slept and slept. Wasn't that a good story? Dear, you look a little warm. Sweet dreams.
The Storyteller presents tales of terror at Universal's all-new Halloween Horror Nights. This year, no one will live happily ever after.
This one was so wild to me when I was younger because it starts off so innocuous, like this old lady just reading a book, and like, it seems nice. She's in her rocking chair reading a book, and there's a cat by her feet, and it's lovely. And then she goes over and she pulls the covers off this dude, and there's just a guy on a bed of nails. And it's very Looney Tunes to like have an anvil over the I was like, I don't think I've ever seen an anvil used. Like, I mean, I'm sure they have to use anvils for like something in real life, but like, nowadays, not like back in the day. I know they used it, what they used them for, but nowadays, that just made me laugh, like seeing the anvil. This one I remember not scaring me as much. I actually thought this one was funny because of the fact that it was a little old granny. That's the Storyteller, by the way. That's the first iteration of the Storyteller. In later iterations, she definitely looks more deranged than she does in this commercial. In this commercial, she looks very sweet, very kind, and like super like, oh, I'm a little old granny. And then she turns like evil. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but in like the last half second of the commercial, she does kind of turn evil because then she like slices the scissors like at the screen and her eye looks a little weird. But yeah, as far as scariness goes, I'm gonna give this one like a 1. I guess it is kind of scary that the guy's getting crushed by an anvil, but I'm like, anyone's not this compared to the last two, which were just pure trauma and nightmare fuel for me. This one was like a walk in the park. So yeah, let's move on to Halloween Horror Nights 16, which we'll talk about Halloween Horror Nights 16. Okay, so we're on to Halloween Horror Nights 16, which was not only the year that they brought HHN from Universal Studios Islands of Adventure back to the home park Universal Studios. It was also their Sweet 16, their little, like, my super sweet 16. So they were bringing Horror Comes Home, they were bringing it back. Let's watch the commercial and then we'll talk about it.
Turn 16. 4 of the most horrifying figures return to Universal Studios for a Halloween homecoming you won't want to miss. Come celebrate the nightmare.
I could not help but laugh at that last shot. They just like a quick shot of all 4 icons and just ends on Jack like, Just he wasn't smiling, but it looked like he was smiling. He's like so corny. So this is probably when my obsession with Halloween Horror Nights actually started. I know that's kind of weird to think. I was 15 years old when they hit this year, and I remember there we went to Universal Studios, like a big family trip, like big family trip. A lot of family was there. And I remember at one point we were waiting in City Walk. It was like me, my mom, my aunt, and my cousin. And we were waiting for like a few people to like catch up with us, and we were sitting in City Walk waiting for them. And if you've ever been to Universal Studios Orlando and you've been to City Walk, there's like this big, like, I don't know what to call it, but it's basically like a big billboard in a way, like a big, like pole, and it has like a bunch of TVs that wrap around on the top, and they play like music videos usually. And then underneath that is actually a hot dog stand, so you can get hot dogs there. I don't know how good they are, but you can get them. Um, but they have the TVs, they wrap around, and those TVs will play music videos. Well, this particular year, after every few music videos, they'd play like 2 or 3 music videos, and then they would play this commercial. And it was like constant. Like we were sitting there for like a while. I remember we were sitting there. We at least saw 3 to 4 cycles of that commercial playing, and I just kept watching it. And I just remember like me and my cousin were freaked out by the commercial, and we were like, ooh. And then like our moms are like, you don't need to look at that. Don't look at that. If it's bothering you, don't look at that. But then the two of us were like looking at each other like, it's kind of cool though. Like I was super curious about this event at that point in time. I was starting to feel a little bit bold and being like, maybe I want to go. I kind of want to go. It sounds fun. Um, I was 15. I was getting to that age where my brain was starting to develop. I was less scared of scary things. I still was a scaredy cat, but I was less scared of scary things than I was when like I watched like the freaking director commercial back then. So I definitely was getting to that age where things were getting less scary for me, and this was just looking more enticing, and I was more like, ooh, I might want to go, but I wasn't sure yet. But yeah, I was obsessed with this commercial. It was one of my favorites. Like it's probably an S tier commercial for me just because of how obsessed I was with it. As you can see, they brought back the 4 icons from the previous years. You had Jack, the caretaker, the director, and the storyteller, and they were all coming back to Universal Studios Orlando. Um, as for far as the scare factor goes, from like 1 to 5, I would have to give this like a 1. Inherently, the little happy birthday music is a little creepy, but I also think this commercial is just too freaking cool. So I have no problems with this like commercial at all. I love this commercial. It's such a good commercial. So yeah, take a shot every time I say commercial. All right, let's move on to Halloween Horror Nights 17, which I have a personal special connection to.
So what's my future?
You don't have one. This Halloween, Jack presents Jason, Freddy, and Leatherface at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. Spend the night and see if you can handle the Carnival of Carnage. Hotel and ticket packages starting at just $89. To book your package, call now or visit HalloweenHorrorNights.com.
Okay, so we just watched the commercial for Halloween Horror Nights 17, which was the Carnival of Carnage. And the reason I said I had a personal connection to this event, this was the first year that I went to Halloween Horror Nights ever. Now, I have been going consecutively since 2013, so I don't count the first 2 years that I went because I did not go from 2008 to 2013. I did not go. It wasn't necessarily for not wanting to go. It was either I didn't have the money or I didn't have anybody to go with. So it wasn't for not wanting to go. I think I was already kind of hooked, even though I was such a scaredy cat. Uh, That year, I only made it through 2 haunted houses, which was the Nightmare on Elm Street one and the Dead Silence haunted house based off the movie with the puppets. And I panicked and I called my sister and told her to come pick me up and take me home. And I tried to be all cool. I had gotten 2 shirts from Halloween Horror Nights that year, and actually I still have the original shirt, but the reason I don't wear it on camera is because I wore it one time when I was bleaching my hair and it is covered in bleach stains. So, it's a relic. It's an ancient relic, but I still have it and I still wear it every now and then to sleep in. And I thought it was so cool. I went to school the next day and I was telling everybody that I went to Halloween Horror Nights. I went to Halloween Horror Nights for like 5 minutes. As far as the scare factor for this commercial goes, and I did see this commercial all the time, all the time. It's actually what spurred me to want to go. Was at the time I had just seen Friday the 13th for the first time, and then I also had I had an interest in Nightmare on Elm Street. At the time, I hadn't seen the original Nightmare on Elm Street, but I had seen um 3, 4, and New Nightmare. I had seen those 3. So at the time I hadn't seen the original Nightmare on Elm Street. So I really did like Freddy Krueger, but I was kind of like, I wanted to go and try it out, and I did not make it. As far as the scare factor goes in this commercial, I'm gonna have to give it I'm gonna give it a 1. This one never scared me. Even when I was younger, it didn't scare me, and now it definitely doesn't scare me because I love, Freddy and Jason. Not so much Leatherface. Leatherface and I, we have an agreement. We have an understanding with each other. Um, so yeah, that was the commercial for Carnival of Carnage, the first year that I ever went. So yeah, now you guys know a little bit of lore about me. That's the first year I went. So let's move on to Halloween Horror Nights 18. All right. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm genuinely freaked out and scared of this one. I might take my headphones out. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. All right, let's watch this one.
Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary and history's most horrifying urban legends come alive only at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. Bring in Coke Zero and save up to $33. It tastes so much like Coke, it's scary.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it with the headphones on. That one still to this day is a 5 for me on the scare scale. That commercial freaks me out. I don't know what it is. It is so scary to me. It is so scary to me. I did go this year. This was my last year before I went back in 2013. This was my last year of going. Um, I hate this commercial. I hate this commercial. I have such a huge vendetta against it. I think when I did this video the first time, I actually skipped over it and I was gonna just put it in and let you guys watch it. I skipped over it because it was late at night and I was like, I don't want to look. I'm so good. I'm so good. Like I wouldn't mind them bringing back Bloody Mary. Like I would love to see I would love to see her come back. I know that they have issues with the licensing for that. Um but I 110% hate this commercial. This commercial used to air so frequently on Nick at Night, Cartoon Network. I'd be watching Adult Swim. I'd be trying to watch anime, and this woman is on my screen screaming at me at 2 in the morning on a Saturday. I'm so good. I'm so good. It should be illegal to do that. It should be illegal to play those commercials so late. It still freaks me out. Like I said, I had to take the headphones out. I don't know if you saw me in the video. I was holding them over here. I was like, it's just that ending when she screams. I can't do it. I don't know if it's because it's a loud noise, and I don't really like loud noises that much. But I don't mess with her. I don't mess with Bloody Mary. So did I just say it 3 times? Whoops. All right, let's move on to Halloween Horror Nights 19. I do believe that's. I don't think it's less. I'm not sure. I know we're getting to the end of this playlist, and then I'll have to go to the individual videos I have open. So let's check them out. Okay, so this one's for Halloween Horror Nights 19, and we've got three big icons to not icons, but three big horror icons to look at. So let's see who they are.
Let's all go to the lobby. The most colorful will come to life. Universal Halloween Horror Nights. Halloween event.
All right, so this one we had three big guys. We had, as you saw, Jigsaw, the Wolfman, and the man himself, or should I say, the doll, Chucky. So this was the year they actually did have an icon for this year. His name is the Usher. I'll put a picture of him up. He's kind of ghoulish looking, but yeah, he's an usher who, worked at a movie theater, an old timey movie theater, and he's bringing you some of the scariest icons ever. And that was the year I did actually want to go. I had plans to go. I had thoughts to go. I even planned to meet with a friend that year that was going to be going. And then I think I just didn't have the money. I was fresh out of high school. There was just no way it was going to work. Fresh out of high school, just getting on my feet. There was no way. As far as the scare factor goes for that commercial, I'm going to give it a 0. I never found this commercial scary, and I loved the little jingle, the "Let's all go to the lobby." Again, I'm gonna try to not mute that, because I'm hoping that these songs are non-copyright, but we'll see. I'm gonna try not to do that, but we'll see. We will see, because you have to be careful these days. YouTube strikes everything. Um, but yeah, the little jingle I always thought was cute, and they actually used to play this commercial on the radio, so they would play that little jingle, and then they would be like, "Halloween Horror Nights takes you to the movies," or something like that. So yeah, no, that was it's a cute commercial in my opinion. It's fun. It's girly pop. Yeah, let's move on to our next commercial. I'm leaving this in here because this is commercialception. This is literally the Quiet Place commercial for this year's event. I just got that as an ad on YouTube.
Universal Halloween Horror Nights, featuring A Quiet Place and more.
Bro, that caught me off guard. I'm gonna keep that in there. It was an ad for Universal Studios for this year, for Halloween Horror Nights for this year. I'm gonna keep that in there because that's super funny to me. I didn't realize it was an ad when it started. I was like, that doesn't look like the commercial for Halloween Horror Nights 20. And then I looked and I was like, no, this is the Quiet Place commercial. So yeah, that was the ad for the Quiet Place haunted house that's going to be at Halloween Horror Nights this year. If you haven't seen it, it's actually quite fire. I like that one, and I do like the Ghostbusters one that they had as well. The Insidious one, oh no, the Insidious one is good. All three of them are very good. But I do like that one. Also because they do use ASL in that commercial. But we're not here to talk about that right now. Maybe I'll bring them up and we can watch them and talk about them afterwards. But let's go on to Halloween Horror Nights 20. So this was 20 years of fear. And this is when we got the icon Fear. And let's see how he introduces himself to the world of HHN.
For the past 19 years, he's been the master behind every scream. And now, the thing you most have to fear is fear himself. Halloween Horror Nights, only at Universal Orlando Resort.
Watch Ellen for your chance to win tickets to Halloween Horror Nights.
I'm sorry, I had to cut that. Watch Ellen for your chance to win tickets to Halloween Horror. That was so random. And then she's just dancing. I got to put a screenshot. That's so funny. Why is she dancing? Oh my god. Oh, that's funny. Okay, that's not that funny. I'd be laughing at things. Yeah, so this was the commercial for Halloween Horror Nights 20. This was their 20th anniversary, and it was 20 years of fear. This was them bringing the overseer of Halloween Horror Nights, which is a monster by the name of Fear. And I've talked about him. I actually talked about him in my speculation video that I did months ago when people were speculating that this year's event would have to do with fear. I'll slap up another picture of him because he's called the sexy icon, and I mean, great googly moogly. That's all I gotta say. He has come back a few times. He actually was. I did get to see him for the first time in person at Halloween Horror Nights 30 during the Icons house. He came out on stilts in the beginning, and I thought that was really cool. So I'm really glad to see him. As far as the scare factor for this house, no, it's not a house, for this commercial, I would say it's probably around. I'm gonna give it a 3 because I know that it creeped me out when I was younger, and it still can creep me out depending on my mindset. I mean, I don't think anymore actually, but I know it did creep me out when I first saw it. Like, it made me really uncomfortable. Another year that I wanted to go and I didn't get to go, but yeah, uh, we got two ads in one. That was funny. We got a little Halloween Horror Nights 2024 ad and the Halloween Horror Nights uh 2010 ad. Oh, wow, that's so crazy. Oh my god, this ad is over a decade old. Okay, let's move on to our next video. Okay, so this next commercial is for Halloween Horror Nights 21, and this is the year that we get to meet a very, very classy lady. Let's watch and see what she's up to, shall we?
Dad, you win. You think of what you wanted. You win. When you play with Lady Luck. Halloween Horror Nights 21. Only that Universal Orlando Resort.
Bruh, the music just started back up for the intro for this video. I might have to mute this one. We'll see, because I'm pretty sure it uses a copyrighted song. If I do, just know, like, again, you can go and watch these commercials, like, on your own. But we get to meet Lady Luck. Lady Luck is a fabulous little lady. And she's actually a witch, but I'm really excited we got to, like, see her, in the Icons Unleashed house, or whatever it was called in Halloween Horror Nights 30. I never got to go to this year either, and I thought it was really cool, like, how they weaved her lore through everything. As far as scare factor for this commercial, this one I would probably have to say is a solid 0 for me. Never found it scary. I actually found her quite pretty, and I was like, oh, I like Lady Luck. She's nice. So yeah, that is the Halloween Horror Nights 21 commercial. We're gonna move on to Halloween Horror Nights 22 now, and we're getting closer and closer to the year that I started going again. 23 was my first year. All right, so we're going to move on now to Halloween Horror Nights 22, 2012's year. We're going to watch this commercial. This is a very interesting commercial because it really doesn't tell you much about this year's event except for the stuff it says at the end. It definitely veers away from telling you what to expect when you're there. So let's watch it and see what we've got going on.
Visit HalloweenHorrorNights.com.
All right, so that one was the 2012 one. I thought that they were going to say what was at the event that year. They did not. At the end of the commercial. Very interesting choice to not tell you what to expect when you go there. But that was the year that they did The Walking Dead for the first time. Then that was the year they also did Silent Hill and a few other things that were notable. I really just remember, like, Walking Dead and Silent Hill just because, like, those were the two that I wanted to go. And I actually had a ticket to go, and I ended up not going. But yeah, on the scariness factor, I would say this commercial on the scariness factor doesn't really bother me all that much. I think it's more funny, especially when they get behind the gate and then he realizes that the monsters are back there. It's almost like a "they're right behind me, isn't they? Aren't they?" like moment. It's super funny to me. I find it to be funny, goofy, personally, but maybe you find it scarier. I don't know. That's just me. Let's move on to the next one, and we got to do something fancy for this one because it's not on the playlist for some reason. So this one's not on the playlist, but I will put it in the description below. And we're going to look at the commercial that aired when I went to Halloween Horror Nights for the first time, Halloween Horror Nights 23. Let's watch.
See if you can survive the biggest names in horror at the nation's premier Halloween event, Halloween Horror Nights.
Okay, so now you saw the commercial that played the first year that I went. Now, the year I went, the whole reason I was going was because I was a super diehard Walking Dead fan back in the day. I loved that show. I watched the show every Sunday when it aired. So I was really excited to see what this event was going to entail. And they don't really tell you much about this event, but this year, that year that they did, they actually transformed the entire park to The Walking Dead. So basically, like everywhere you went, there were walkers roaming around, and then each main area where they would do like, scare zones was a location from the show, and it was really, really cool. Really, really like well themed. Um Not saying that they should have cohesive scary zones like this, like based off of an IP, but it would be cool if they brought this idea back with, even if it was an original idea. They kind of did that last year with the Dr. Oddfellow, how he was connected to every scare zone, and I did like that because it sort of was like you were walking through his story, and I really would love to see them do that again in the future. Every scare zone having a link to something and kind of linking together. This year was actually, I know a lot of people complain about the Walking Dead IP, but I actually thought that year was very cool. Obviously, if you're not somebody who was a fan of The Walking Dead at the time when this was happening, I can understand you not liking it. But as somebody who was a super fan, this was like a dream come true, and it really started me like planning on going every year and like it becoming a part of my fall, life. So yeah, that was the commercial for Halloween Horror Nights 23. We are going to move on to 24, which is the last one on this playlist, and then we will be watching just individual commercials. And I have to warn you, from here on out, they are going to get a little bit longer. I think we have one that is up to 3 minutes long, but they are going to get a little bit longer, so just keep that in mind. I'm already in an hour of recording this. It's only going to get longer, but hopefully this video won't be super long, and if it is, I apologize. Oh, forgot to mention the scariness of that commercial. I kind of think I would rate that one at like a 2, because the idea of like monsters running from something that is scarier than themselves and then that thing coming and attacking you, yeah, that's definitely scary. So this one gets a 2 out of 5 for me. Okay, so this commercial is when they really leaned into the Walking Dead IP. Walking Dead, in my opinion, as much as I loved it, definitely overstayed its welcome at Halloween Horror Nights, and I'm really glad that no other show has done that. Probably because they have a lot less seasons. I mean, Stranger Things had one house done in two seasons done in one house. So they're probably only going to have maybe 4 if they decide to do the 5th season as a house. They're probably only going to have maybe 4. American Horror Story, they did 3 seasons in one house for 2 houses, and then they didn't bother to do the later seasons because the season after Roanoke was incredibly polarizing, so they couldn't do a house of that. And like, I guess people just don't really care about American Horror Story like they used to. So I'm kind of glad that we haven't had a show that's just such a behemoth that we've gotten like several years of this one thing, because my goodness, Walking Dead had a chokehold on Universal Orlando, Universal Studios in general, because it was in Hollywood too. So let's watch this commercial and see how the dead have arrived.
Flight 919 from Atlanta has just arrived in Orlando.
Face Alien vs. Predator, Halloween, and The Walking Dead at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
I had to laugh. I don't know if you saw me laughing during that commercial, but I had to laugh because I just started thinking about the fact that the zombies took a plane from Atlanta to Orlando. They just got on a plane. They went through TSA. They went through TSA, they put their bags in the baggage claim, and then they flew to Orlando. And then, I mean, it could be a train to Busan situation where maybe the outbreak happened while they were on the plane, but I seriously doubt it. I think those zombies got on the plane to come to Orlando from Atlanta. They wanted to see, they wanted to go to Disney World. That's what it was. They wanted to, all these people were like, I've never been to Disney World before. So they got a little zombie group together and, sorry, Walker group. Walker group. Anyways, so yeah, that commercial, super goofy to me. I would give it a 0 out of 5 for the scare factor. It's goofy to me personally. I don't know why it looks like the zombies aren't actually there in the beginning. Like when they come through the door, it looks like they're green screened in. I'm like, were the actors just not on set that day and you just like filmed them another day and green screened them in? Like, I don't know. It just looks like they're a little bit green screened in. Definitely not one of my favorite commercials. And I remember that they used the same commercial, I think, the following year for Hollywood, and I was like, "Oh, you guys are," or maybe it was the other way around. Maybe they used that commercial for Hollywood, and then they used that commercial for Orlando, and I was kind of like, "Man, that sucks." So yeah, that was the commercial for Halloween Horror Nights 24, and now we're gonna move on to Halloween Horror Nights 25, which is another anniversary year. So do you know what that means? You're gonna find out.
Looks like I win. Again. Why not? Did you miss me?
Okay, I don't know if you noticed my reaction. That wasn't intentional, me picking this commercial. There's actually two versions of this commercial. I have to be transparent. The version we just watched never was meant to air because Ghostface ended up getting pulled from HHN that year. We literally had the house built. Obviously, he was in the commercial, and they pulled the licensing rights at the last minute. And yeah, technically that commercial shouldn't exist and we shouldn't be able to see it. I clicked on literally the first one. I just typed in Halloween Horror Nights 25 commercial, and that was the first one that popped up. It knows me. It knows me, obviously. And that's why I made a sad face, because when I found out, like, actually I found out in 2020 because there was somebody that was talking to that showed me this version of this commercial. He was like, I want to show you how close we were to having Ghostface, because he worked for like Universal at one point. He's like, I want to show you how close we were to having Ghostface. And we were so close that it was in the commercial. And he showed me this commercial, and I like was like, are you freaking kidding me? We were that close. He was in the commercial, and he was like, yeah, the house was built, and they ended up turning it into The Purge because the house was built. And it's funny because I've actually seen footage, like very like, minimal, but I've seen some footage of that year of the Purge house, and the Purge house literally looks like Stumacher's house in some parts. So it's like, oh no, it's like, how close how close you were to actually having, people have been begging for them to do a Scream haunted house. I don't know why they won't let them. I don't know why. It really blows my mind that they won't let them do it. Because it's like, especially if you had it like that, like in your hand so much that you actually had it in the commercial. Yeah, there's no reason. So reactions. So as much as I how much I love Jack, I screamed the first time I saw. There was actually a little teaser that they posted online, and like the teaser was him walking towards the camera like Chance is doing in the beginning. By the way, that clown girl you saw, that's his girlfriend, Chance. That's his little Harley Quinn. This is girlfriend Chance. I also love her. I adore her. She does have her own little commercial for her next year because she is the icon for 26. But we're not going to watch that commercial. We're going to watch the commercial that I used to see on the internet a lot, which is not as good. I thought her commercial was better, but that was more of the icon reveal commercial. And the commercial that they actually have has nothing to do with her. But that's his little clown girlfriend. But when, like, the beginning of this commercial, when Chance is walking in the distance, they did that with Jack. He was walking and they were playing Pop Goes the Weasel and he was walking towards, and then it all goes black, and then you hear him go, "Did you miss me?" And he pops, he pops up from the bottom. He's like, "Did you miss me?" And I screamed. I was literally holding my phone. I was like, ah! I was like, oh my god, yes, he's coming back. I was so excited to see him. The commercial is badass as hell. It's definitely one of my favorites. Again, probably an A tier, if not an S tier commercial. One day I will rank all of these. Scare factor, I would say it's a pretty solid, for only being about a minute long, almost 2 minutes long, it definitely feels like you're watching a little horror movie, and it's very tense and very, when the music starts getting faster and she's spinning them around faster till it finally lands on the walkers, that is so, well done. I'm gonna give that one a 4 out of 5. It's definitely creepy. But yeah, I just love that commercial, and yeah, it's awesome. Let's move on to Halloween Horror Nights 26. I just realized I think I'm missing a commercial. Yeah, I'm missing 27. Where's 27? Okay. All right, now we're gonna watch Chance's year's commercial, but this one doesn't have Chance in it.
Face horror beyond your wildest screams. You won't stand a chance. Universal Halloween Horror Nights.
I had my mic unmuted for that whole entire commercial. Oh my gosh. Um, hopefully you guys didn't hear any weird noises. Anyways, I lied. Chance was in the commercial. I totally forgot she's in it for 2.5 seconds at the end. So yeah, that was a sort of IP reveal commercial that they did. We had American Horror Story. We had Twisty the clown from season 4, Freak Show. And then we had Texas Chainsaw Massacre again. Leatherface made his reappearance. We had the Walkers again. And then finally we had Reagan from The Exorcist. That was the year they did The Exorcist. I kind of don't like this commercial. I don't know what it is about it. It just doesn't really feel like it makes any sense. I don't get it. It's just here's some random monsters and then Chance at the end screaming in front of a bed. I'd probably say the scariness factor, it's definitely a 0 for me. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one. That one was not the vibe for me. And if I wasn't obsessed with Halloween Horror Nights, that probably would not have encouraged me to go that year. I'm already going to tell you right now, we're about 2 commercials away from my absolute all-time favorite Halloween Horror Nights commercial, and I guarantee you when you see it, you're going to love it too. So let's move on to 27, because I'm really excited to show you guys this one. This one was actually directed by Eli Roth, and regardless of how you feel about him, I know he's a polarizing figure right now. I still think that's pretty cool that at the time they got such a big horror director to do this commercial. So let's watch the commercial for HHN 27.
Studios Halloween Horror Nights.
Okay, so A, I'm probably gonna have to censor a lot of that. And B, I might have to mute this commercial. I might have to mute it. I'm pretty sure this is a copyrighted song. So, if I do have to mute it, I'll put like a little fun song in there, like a little spooky song, which might ruin the effectiveness. I mean, it's gonna be in a little corner. The way you guys are gonna see it, it's gonna be in a little corner. So, like, don't worry about it. Um, I heavily encourage you to go and watch this one. This one is definitely an S tier commercial for me. Like this commercial, I remember seeing it online and going, "Holy crap, this is like a movie." It's like a minute long. It's almost 2 minutes long. It feels like a movie. Like it's so well done. It blows my mind that it's a commercial for Halloween Horror Nights. Like it blows my mind. It's so freaking good, and it just kind of opened the door for what we start to see in the later years, like what we see even now. Like despite the fact that they don't have a commercial, they like this year the promos that they have for both like for not both for like A Quiet Place, Insidious, and the Ghostbusters movie, like the promos that they have are really freaking good for these. And regardless of how you feel about the IPs, like that is so cool. And this commercial always blows my mind. No matter how many times I've seen it, it just blows my mind. Like it captivates me. The song is hypnotic. If you guys, like I said, you probably won't be able to hear the song is super hypnotic. It's so cool. And like I said, I had to blur some of the parts because it does get a little gory. I mean, they got Eli Roth to direct it. So, and this is the uncut version. There is a version that they have that does not include the gore, but you ain't here for that. I'll edit it out. Like that's what I'm here for. This one, as far as scare factor goes, I'm definitely going to give it like a 5. Like it doesn't scare me per se, but oh my gosh, is it so atmospheric and so well done. Like it definitely brings the scare factor, and I can see like being a kid in this day and age and stumbling upon that on YouTube, that would make me a little uncomfortable. I'd feel a little icky. So yeah, like kudos to Eli Roth for that. Hats off to you, my dude. That was a solid commercial for Halloween Horror Nights. So let's move on to the Halloween Horror Nights 28 commercial, which we are one away from my absolute favorite commercial of all time. Just so you know, absolute favorite HHN advertisement of all time. So let's go.
True fear comes from within.
Face more houses than ever, including Poltergeist, Halloween 4, and Stranger Things, at Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights.
I am definitely gonna have to stop, like, cut it off before the end for this one, because it starts playing the Stranger Things theme, and I know that's copyrighted. Netflix will come for my knees. Yeah, so this was the year that they did Stranger Things for the first time. They did Stranger Things, Poltergeist, and Halloween 4. This commercial is very good. I love the fact that it takes place in like whatever that void world. I don't remember. Whatever that void world is that 11 goes into. I love the fact that it takes place in there. And also, how much would it suck if you had 11's powers and you ended up in a void world and you just got stuck with freaking Michael Myers? I would be like, "Oh, come on. Even here? Like, why are you here, dude? Check out a better place to be." Love that they kind of had like I love that they kind of had that. But also because I like Stranger Things a lot, I'm a pretty big fan of the show. Um, I don't think they would have problems finding her because she's technically not in the Upside Down. Her body would still be somewhere that they could physically see. She's technically not in the Upside Down. But we'll let them have it. We'll let them have it. They broke lore for this one thing, but yeah, no, this commercial definitely very cool. It doesn't scare me per se. I would say it's well done. So, it's very well done, but it doesn't scare me per se. So or it never freaked me out, or like I could, like, I don't know. I never just felt like it was like scary, quote unquote. So probably about a 1 or so. I'd say a 1. But yeah, any case, awesome commercial. Now we get to go to my favorite one. I love this one so much, and I can't wait for you guys to see this one. You guys are going to love this. This is the commercial for Halloween Horror Nights 29. And when I tell you, watching this for the first time in 2019, like, I was just, like, beyond stoked for this event. And fun fact, Halloween Horror Nights 2019 might be an unpopular opinion, and I'm willing to take the heat on this, is my absolute favorite year of Halloween Horror Nights, and probably the best year I've ever been to. I don't think they've been able to top it since. They've done great. They've done great years, but that year was unmatched for me. It's such a good year. So let's watch the commercial for Halloween Horror Nights 29.
Wolfman would tear Frankenstein to pieces.
He's already in pieces. What are a few more scratches?
I don't think you get it.
Hey, can you get the door? I got it.
Well, the whole argument's flawed. I mean, think about how many times you go in full in a month. Once? Twice.
Hey, guys. Come on in. I'm just finishing up, okay?
I don't know, man. That's all I'm saying.
Alright, break this down for me again. You said he's got super speed, super smell,
It's simple. He's faster than Frankenstein.
Hey, oh, thanks.
Really? Are you guys still at it?
Yeah, I know it's been a week. It's bothering me.
Who are you calling? I'm just getting a text.
You want some of this?
Sure.
Yo, 11's powers are sick, man.
Guys?
Your worst fears live here. Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights, featuring an all-new Stranger Things, Jordan Peele's Us, Universal Monsters, and more.
Guys, hello? Guys.
Clap it up, man. Clap it up. Because they ate with that ad. They absolutely ate with that ad. I don't know what was in the air that when they were writing the ad for that year, but like I was already stoked because that year they did Stranger Things, they did Stranger Things, they did why am I blanking? We just saw Us. We just saw, I was like, they did Stranger Things, Us, Universal Monsters, but they also did Ghostbusters, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and House of a Thousand Corpses, which I didn't get to go into, but that's okay. They did 6 IP houses that year. 6 IP houses, and every single one of them was a freaking banger. Stranger Things I had my issues with, but every single one of those houses was a freaking banger. Killer Clowns was so much fun. It was 80s nostalgia. I wasn't born in the 80s. I didn't live in the 80s. I don't know what the 80s were like, but it was 80s nostalgia. It went so freaking hard. Like that year went so hhard. And when they were announcing the houses, I was already hype. I was already stoked, and they kind of announced each house like at least the big three that they show in this commercial with like mini commercials that kind of were the same as this, but not exactly. It doesn't matter. This was so good. This ad is so good. I love how they just effortlessly go into the upside down, those two guys, and then the demodogs are there. I love that part when the girl hears the whistling from Us, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. I love Us. Us is one of my favorite horror movies. And that I was like, that is so cool. And then the girl turns around with the scissors and like runs towards her. I love that part when the other girl is in the kitchen and you just see Dracula getting closer and closer to her. Love the fact that they actually included the Universal monsters in this one because their house is Slay. That was such a good commercial, and it like that year was so amazing. Like I don't have it up right now. I am gonna put it back up, but I have a like poster of all the houses from that year and then it looks like it's in an arcade machine because that year just to this day is still my favorite year that they've ever done. And I know that they're gonna top it one day because up until that point 2013 was my favorite year. That was still like the best year, and I do think 2007 when I went the Carnival of Carnage I would have liked to experience more, but I do think that was a very solid year. But 2019, Halloween Horror Nights fans, you can fight me if you want to. 2019 was still the best year that they've had in a long time. It was the best year, like up until then, and it is the best year. It's been the best year since then. Man, I love that year, and that commercial just like it brings a smile to my face. Like I was sitting here cheesing because I love that commercial. It's so good. S tier commercial. Scare factor, I wouldn't say it's all that scary. It definitely is more hype inducing than scary. Um, I would say it's more like I'd say it's more like a 1 because there's a little bit of stuff. But yeah, no. 2009 watch party commercial. This is the director's cut. It's almost 3 minutes long. But it's amazing. The next one we're gonna watch, I might have to also edit like I did the Eli Roth one because it began, and I'm also gonna look away at one part and you'll see why. You'll see it. I'm gonna let you see that one. But let's watch this was the year that they came back after COVID-19 had started. This was a big year. Everyone was really hyped for it. I know I was hyped for it. And this is their 30th anniversary year. So guess who's back?
Universal Halloween Horror Nights, back for the 30th year. Here, Brace yourself for Netflix's The Haunting of Hill House, Beetlejuice, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and more.
Okay, like I said, I'm probably gonna have to censor some of that stuff because there's a little bit of gore in that one. Obviously, this wasn't airing on television. This was strictly something that they put on their website so people could see what was, what was the haps. Very, very creepy commercial. I would give this one probably a 4. It's up there in scariness. Um, Especially the spider part. Mm-mm. I'm good. I'm so good. That was so unnecessary, Universal. That was so unnecessary. But I think it's also cool that they didn't include the two of the IPs that they were doing that year, which was Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Haunting of Hill House. I love that little clip with the bent neck lady. Yeah, no, that one's cool. It's really well made. Definitely, like I said, I would probably give it a 4 out of 5. It's definitely very creepy. So let's move on to the 31st year of Halloween Horror Nights. We're gonna watch this commercial next. Okay, so this one is a little bit longer. It's like 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Um, Apologies for that.
We gotta move fast. We're gonna get to all the haunted houses tonight. Food first, then monsters.
Monsters? Guys, relax. None of this is real. You did not just get pizza fries on my jacket. I'm out.
Guys?
Perfect.
I can't believe you actually enjoy this.
I love this.
Seriously? They not real. Okay, that's definitely.
Man, this is the best house yet. Oh, awesome.
Step into the horror classic, Halloween. The Weekend, After Hours Nightmare, and more. Summon your Scream Squad to Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
I cannot contain my laughter during the weekend scene in this because I just love the fact that she takes a selfie and he's just standing in the back like this. And then like afterwards he takes a selfie with his homies after he dispatches of her. He's just like, hold on, but first let me take a selfie. Like, oh my god. It's so bad. That was Halloween Horror Nights 31's commercial. I love the fact that it's very cinematic. It has a little bit of a story to it. My favorite scene is the scene with the black girl walking around going, fake, not real, and then she runs into Michael Myers. I think that's funny. There's actually a smaller commercial because when they were announcing each house, they released like smaller commercials that led up to this one. There's a smaller commercial they released with her where she's talking about how fake horror movies are and how like terrible they are, and then like her lights go out in her house and she's just like, okay, like whatever, you know. And then she goes to walk by like a hallway, and then Michael Myers is standing in the hallway looking at her, and she just stares, and then the lights come back on and he's gone, and she just goes, nope, and walks away. I love that commercial because I love that energy. It's just like, yeah, no, I don't want to know what's going down there. I'm leaving this house. Like, I'm done. But I also think it's funny because like I've been to Halloween Horror Nights with people like that are like, oh my god, this is so stupid. That's not real. That's fake. I don't know how you're screaming and you're scared. And I just love that she got because I'm like, come on, it's supposed to be fun. We're supposed to scream and have a good time. It doesn't matter if it's actually scary or not. Like, we know it's not actually scary. We know we're not actually in danger. Um, so yeah, that's one thing that I love about that. And then like I also love the ending. I was laughing. I don't know if you saw my mouth. I was mouthing Spirit Halloween monster because that the thing that the Reaper that comes out at the end looks like the freaking Spirit Halloween mascot. Just comes out. I was like, oh my god, it's Spirit Halloween. They had a Spirit Halloween house this year. But no, I did like Halloween Horror Nights 31. As far as scare factor for this commercial goes, I'm gonna give it like a 0. Doesn't really freak me out, doesn't really scare me. Definitely just kind of like a goofy, fun commercial in my opinion. So now we're pretty much caught up. I'm actually going to leave the links to the 3 from this year if you want to see what the house announcement trailers were, because this video recording session is almost 2 hours long and we have one more commercial left and then I want to wrap everything up. So let's watch this last one and I'll leave the links to the last 3 that come out for this year so you can check them out and see what you think of them. But yeah, so here is the commercial for Halloween Horror Nights 32. This one's almost 4 minutes long, geez. Ooh.
I just survived Halloween Horror Nights alone. Looks like the rumors aren't true.
You're not alone.
Did you forget about your sister? You know we just got here. I was recording.
What is that? I've seen this before.
Yeah, me too.
Come on.
No. Absolutely not. Come on.
Whoa.
Oh, weird.
This isn't creepy at all.
What is this place?
This isn't on the park map. Guys?
You guys? Oh, this isn't funny.
What is it?
Help! Help, please! Somebody!
Where am I? Hello? Sophia, is that you?
Ava?
Sophia. 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 Please, Sophia, come on, wake up.
Don't be afraid. You belong with me.
Summon your Scream Squad to Universal's Halloween Horror Nights, featuring Stranger Things, The Exorcist, Believer, The Last of Us, and more.
And that's why we don't walk into doors that just open by themselves. Also, I just realized that in that little Stranger Things segment there, the girl that was in the Upside Down's name was also Sophia, and in the other commercial, her name was Sophia. Sophia can't beat the Upside Down allegations. She's always in the Upside Down. It don't matter. She always getting snatched by some creature from the Upside Down, whether it's the Demogorgon or it's Vecna himself. That's really funny. I wonder if they did that on purpose or if that was like a complete and total accident, or if maybe that's like the actress's name. They just used her name. Like both actresses' name just happened to be Sophia. That's so funny. I love that commercial, and I did really love last year's event. I had so much fun. Like it was such a good event, such a well put together event, and I had a great time. It was a lot of fun. So that definitely is high on my list for commercials. Scare factor, I was getting a little bit icked out by the clickers. I ain't gonna lie. I was getting a little icked out by the clickers. Having them clicking in your ear like directly like that, it brings back the days of playing The Last of Us with my Turtle Beaches when I had that. No. 0 out of 10 for that one. But for the commercial itself, I'm gonna give it about a solid 3 out of 5. That one definitely was like, I got a little bit icked out. I don't know if you saw my face where I was kind of like, but yeah, no, that's a great commercial. And yeah, we are going to wrap up this little reaction video thing that I was doing. Um, yeah, so those are the commercials from 90s all the way up till now. It's not the most recent ones because, like I said, I'm going to include those ones in the description below. You can go watch the Quiet Place, Ghostbusters, and Insidious commercials on your own. They're very good. They're very fun. I definitely like the Ghostbusters one. I think that's like easily my favorite just because I love the ending of it. That one is funny. But yeah. What did you think? Which commercial did you like the best if you could see them? Like I said, I'm going to be editing these a little bit interestingly. I might cut some sections out depending on especially some of the longer ones, and obviously I might be muting some audio so you might not get the full experience. But if you want, click on the links in the description to go check out the other videos. By the time you watch this, Halloween Horror Nights will be happening that night for the premium screen night for the people who paid to go to the premium screen night. Like, it'll be happening. We will be there. Right now I'm recording this, like I said, it's 5 days, countdown 5 days to Halloween Horror Nights. By the time that I post this, that, like I said, it's going to be happening, and then I will be there the very next day for the opening ceremony, for the opening night, opening weekend. I'm going to be there all 3 nights, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I cannot freaking wait. I am so hyped. I'm going to take these headphones out so I can actually like hear my surroundings, because that's also another thing is I'm home alone currently, and I cannot hear my surroundings with those headphones in because they're noise canceling. But yeah, in any case, I cannot wait for this coming weekend. It's going to be so awesome. Once I get this video up, you guys will be like basically in full swing. I am going to be doing an HHN vlog. I'm probably going to vlog the whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You're going to get 3 different views of the event, talk about things I loved, things I didn't, and just really enjoying the event. Like, I am super excited. I have no idea what I'm walking into. I feel like this is the most blind I've ever been because they haven't announced the food. They haven't really shown much about the tribute store. The tribute store is like just now going up. From the pictures I've seen, it's just now going up. I'm sure they've been working on the inside for a while. Now they're getting the facade ready, but the tribute store is just now going up. So I don't even know, like, when are they going to do the tribute store preview? Is it going to be like tomorrow? Like, probably watch tomorrow. I'll wake up and there'll be like a million videos on YouTube of people like preview of the tribute store, and you better believe I'm going to watch them so I can know what merch I want to get. I already know I'm getting getting the Mel's Die-In shirt. That is a given. The next time you see me sitting in front of this camera like this, I'm going to be wearing my Mel's Die-In shirt. Um, I am super excited though for this year's event, regardless of what we know, what we don't know. I cannot wait. It's going to be really good. I'm excited for the lineup that we have. I'm excited to just be in the fog again. And I'm definitely excited to um, do a vlog and share this with you. Now, am I going to vlog the entire... I'm going to go more than just this weekend, just so you know, because I will be there multiple times this year. I'm probably only going to vlog this weekend. I will not lie to you. We're probably going to get all 10 houses done in this weekend. So I'm just letting you know. I will have my full review next week of not this coming week, but the following week, of all 10 houses, all 5 scare zones, maybe even the show, maybe some of the food, maybe the tribute store. I'm gonna have a full-on HHN vlog for you guys as soon as freaking possible. I am so excited to do this. I've been waiting for this all year, and it's finally here. We're finally in HHN season, and I just can't wait. Now I'm gonna do other Halloween stuff. I'm hoping I can get to Howl-O-Scream this year. I kind of have an in for that, so I'm hoping I can get to Howl-O-Scream, and then I might be going to another event. I talked about it in the video I didn't post, but I'm not going to post that video now. I kind of feel like we're past that point talking about it, but I might be going to Six Flags in Georgia for their Halloween event. One of my friends really wants to go, and I'm debating on doing the same. So we might be going to Six Flags in Georgia, and I will do a video on that. I'll do a little vlog on that. If I do get to Howl-O-Scream, I'll do a vlog on that. I know I've really only been talking about Halloween Horror Nights, and that's just because Halloween Horror Nights is such an intense, fun event for me. Like, it's, when I say intense, I mean, like, I just get into Halloween Horror Nights. It's a hyperfixation. That's what I mean. It's a hyperfixation. I hyperfixate on that, and then I remember that there's other Halloween events I might get to go to, or I might like to go to. No disrespect to anything else. I'm just very hyper-focused on Halloween Horror Nights. I do want to do Howl-O-Scream at SeaWorld, because I've never done it at SeaWorld. I've done it at Busch Gardens plenty of times, but never at SeaWorld, and I'm hoping I get to do it this year at SeaWorld. And then I also am hoping I can do Six Flags, because I've never done Fright Fest, and I would love to do Fright Fest. And then, you know, whatever other haunts that we might swing into, I'll make vlogs of all of that. We're entering into the full swing of haunt season for the next 2 months. This is going to be my entire personality. We will get to some more movies, I promise. I know Maxine is out for renting. I might rent it at some point and watch it and like review it. There's other movies I want to talk about that I've watched that aren't brand new, but they're interesting. I do want to get back to some of my other series I've worked on. And of course, I will probably make a little bit of a vlog when I go to Disney at the end of September, because I'm hoping I can get on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, fingers crossed. I'm just really excited. This is going to be a really fun next couple of months, and I'm ready for it. I've been in need of it. I mean, I've been having a lot of fun doing other stuff. I've been going to Disney. I did pop over to Universal a couple of times to check out some other stuff that's over there. I didn't really vlog about it or talk about it at the time because kept running into rain, so I couldn't do it. I don't have the equipment for that yet. But I'm super, super excited for Halloween Horror Nights season. I am ready for this coming Friday. I'm going to be decked out. If you are going to Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando and you see me in the fog, don't hesitate to say hi. I'm probably going to spend this week, like when I get off of work, making like friendship bracelets. So I will gladly give them out. I'm going to be making Ghostbusters and Quiet Place friendship bracelets. I'm gonna get my Death Angel bracelets. If you know, you know. If you saw my Quiet Place review, you know, you know. I'm gonna be making Death Angel bracelets, probably making some Ghostbusters bracelets. It's on. Like, it's on. I'm in full swing. I'm ready to go. I'm fired up. I'm hype, and I am just super excited to share this with you guys. So thank you so much again for watching this video. Keep an eye on this channel. In the next week, there will be a HHN vlog, and probably, I don't know if there'll be 2 videos because I'm going to be very tired, but I'll have my HHN vlog, and then I'll probably have my definitive ranking of all 10 houses at this point in time, the ones I like the best so far. I'll wait till the end of the season to like kind of cap off which ones ended up being my favorite, because like I said, I'm going to go multiple times this year, so I'll probably go through each house more than once. Weird flex, but okay. I'm super excited to do this, so keep an eye on for this channel. If you want to continue following me, you can check out my Instagram and my Threads account, which is _creepycritiques. And then I also have a TikTok, which I probably will be posting TikToks starting next week about Halloween Horror Nights and stuff. I want to get back to using TikTok. I used to use TikTok all the time, like creating TikToks, and I don't do it anymore, but I need to. It's important. So I will probably get back to doing that once I get back into the full swing of things. And yeah, let me know what you think of these commercials. Let me know which ones were your favorites. And then also let me know what you think of the event if you get to go. And if you aren't going this year, let me know, like, if you're looking forward to next year's event or any future events you might get to go to. I'm going to wrap this up. But thank you guys so much for joining me. And I will see you again with another creepy critique. And for the one time only, I will say this here. See you in the fog.